So guys, in today's video, we are going to be diving deep into a question that has been frequent on my YouTube channel or on my comment section. Can international students with more than 5 or 7 years gap after graduation study in Romania? I know this is a concern of so many students, or for us, so many international students that want to study abroad, or particularly that want to study in Romania. And so I've done my research to clear up things in this video. I've also gone into the international office to ask why this is so, or if this particular information that has been going around, if it's true or not. So in today's video, we are going to be looking at what Romanian University actually requires in terms of admission, and how they treat study gaps, and if this particular information is true or not. So guys, if you want to study in Romania next year, make sure that you watch this video right up to the end, so you understand a lot of things and know so you understand what you need to do if you need to apply to study in Romania next academic year. So guys, that being said, let's dive in. Hi guys, hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Cindy's Reality. If you're new on the channel, you're welcome. If you're all on the channel, thanks for coming by to watch another video. On this channel, I talk about my life in Romania. I talk about affordable Romanian universities available for international students. I also talk about jobs available for those that would like to come and work in Romania. So if you find interest in content like this, please do well to subscribe, click on that notification button, so each time I post a video, you get notified. So guys, the first thing that we're going to talk on this video is about study gap. So the truth about study gaps in Romania. So the first thing that I'll have to say here is that there is no criteria, or there is no limitation when it comes to study gap, or when it comes to study gap in Romania. Whether you have your certificate 5 or 7 years ago, there is no criteria either by the university or by the Ministry of Education of Romania saying that study gap is not required, or study gap is a limitation to study in Romania. I did my research, and there's no official announcement by the Ministry of Education saying this. And also, when I also visited my university, Bachelor University, and I was speaking to the international office, she also said to me that the Romanian Ministry of Education has not announced officially that study gap is a limitation to study gap is a limitation to gain admission or to study in Romania. Also agreeing with this fact that there is no study gap limitation to study in Romania, because this particular here I applied for a student in Nigeria, one of my candidates, and when I went through his certificate, I saw that he has his WAEC in 2013. When he had his WAEC, that's a high school for Nigeria, and then he continued with the degree and had his degree in 2020. So 2020 to 2025, that's about 5 years gap. Yeah, that's about 5 years gap. And he gained his admission. His admission is out, and very soon I'll be applying for his visa. There's also one of my candidates from Cameroon that I'm going to put a screenshot of how he graduated from school. Let me double check that information. So yeah, this is one of my candidates from Cameroon that I also applied for him, and based off his certificate, it shows that he graduated from high school 2013. He graduated from high school in 2013, and then for the university, for his bachelor's degree, he got finished in 2019. So from 2019 to 2025, that's how many years? That should be 5 or 6 or 7 years, and the university accepted his certificate, and we are still waiting for his admission letter. So this is not really a criteria, or study gap is not a criteria to study in Romania. And The truth is the Ministry of Education of Romania and also Romanian University understand studies gap. So they understand study gap, especially for those that are applying for the master's program. They understand that students, especially for international students, might be going through some financial crisis to study abroad, and so maybe they pause up their study after they had their degree. They pause their study to get specialization in that particular field that they want to specialize in. They also pause to also do like volunteer work in a field that they are specialized in. So let me say for somebody that does accounting in the high school and also in the bachelor's level, and now maybe after their bachelor's level they go to work in a bank, or they work in a field related to their accounting. Now when they want to come and apply for master's program, they are coming with experience, they are coming with more knowledge, they are coming with the practical knowledge as well as the theory part. So the Ministry of Education in Romania and even Romanian universities understand study gaps. When a student apply, what they look at in that particular student, what matter most to them in regarding the student that's actually applied to study in Romania is their motivation to study in Romania, their career experience for those that are applying for the master's program, and the reason for wanting to return back to studies. That's why initially for Babeshbori University particularly, they introduced a motivational letter, because the motivational letter is what makes them, when they read the motivational letter, it helps them to know a student's history, a student's life, a student past experience, and so that helps them to understand what that particular student wants, and that also give them a room to grant admission to that particular student. So what I'll advise you now to do is make sure that whenever you want to apply for a particular study, especially for those that are applying for masters, they should have experience in that field. Maybe you must have worked in that area. If you have a certificate to back up that, by all means add it to your certificate or to your document that you need to apply for admission. If you have experience in that field, write the history of everything that you've experienced in your motivational letter, and yeah, back up with reference in your motivation. You can back up with reference saying that I work in this particular bank, I work in this particular area, and you can get a reference from this person, from this person, from this person. And yeah, it helps a lot with your motivation. It helps a lot to enable the Ministry of Education and also the university to grant admission to you. One thing that the school also made me to understand, the international office, when I went there to ask this particular question, one thing that they made me to understand is that the admission officers and the Ministry of Education are often impressed by candidates who have gained life experience in a specialization or in the field that they want to specialize in, who have also gained mature professionality, and now they want to redirect their focus towards a new academic goal. And they can see all of that in your motivational letter. They can see all of that in the reference that you include in your motivational letter, and they can also see more of that in the document that you attach, indicating that you have worked in this place, and now the experience that you have, you want to now specialize in that course to be more better. Now, based on my research and based on what I found out regarding this study gap in Romania, so there are two particular universities that I know when it comes to study gap that is not an issue. For example, Babeshbori University, which is the university that I work with. I'm an ambassador for Babeshbori University. I work with that university. I'm definitely sure that study study gap is not an issue even when you go on Bachelor University. So if you're watching this video, after you watch a video, go on Google, type Bachelor University Cluj, and you go on their website. There's nowhere stated on their website that study gap is a criteria or study gap is a limitation to study in their university. So Bachelor University consider the full profile of a student, their academic professional, and their personnel. So age limit is not a criteria. Study gap is not a criteria, and study gap is not a limit. University of Bucharest has also accepted students with long study gap. That I know, University of Bucharest accepts students with long study gap, especially when they have shown consistent passion or relevant experience, which is what I said at the beginning of this video, that if you're someone that has study gaps and your study gap, you can back up your study gap with maybe your experience that you've worked in a particular sector, with certificate, with experience, with reference. Study gap is not an issue. It is not an issue. So this particular thing shouldn't discourage you to send in your application to study in Romania. At some point this year, I'm going to make a detailed video to explain everything that we need to consider or everything that we need to know in order for us to send in our application to study in Romania. I'm going to do a detailed video like that. So if you watch that video, you're going to be ready, or you know what documents or what to do or what documents to include to submit your application file in order to study in Romania. Now, in the third part of this video, I would like to talk about my advice to anyone who would like to study in Romania next year. Now, for all of us that want to study in Romania next year and you're still scared of the study gap, this is what I'll advise you to do. So one thing that you need to do before you send in your application is do your research. Do your research to know the university that you want to study in. I already made a video on this channel where I explain in detail 7 affordable Romanian universities to study in Romania and their tuition fee. I'm going to link that video down in the description box. Watch it. So once you have done your research and you're aware of the university that you want to study in, now you need to draft an email to that university. Go to their website, because in every university they have their website where they have where they display their contact, their email, and how you can reach out to them. So once you find out the university that you want to study in, now you need to draft an email to that particular university. I'm also going to give you a checklist of everything that you should write in your email to find out what the university require in order for them to admit you to study in their university or to study in Romania. In your email that you're writing to the university, the first thing that you need to write on the first paragraph of your email is you need to mention your name, your background, and your degree goals or your study goals. Now, that first part of your email should have all of these things that I've just mentioned: your name, your background, and your educational goal. Now, state everything in the first part of that email. Now, the second part of the email, if you have study gap. Now, if you have study gap, you need to explain your studying gap and what you have done during that time of which you were not studying. So if you were working in a particular field, you were working in a particular industry, you were doing something, state it down in that email that this is what I've been doing and this is how far I've come. State it out in that email. This is in the second paragraph of your email. Now, in the third paragraph of your email, you ask your eligibility criteria. Ask the university that based on this study gap and what I've achieved, what are your eligibility criteria in order for me to study in Romania? What documents shall I provide? What should I do? What ask the university all of those things. And yeah, they are going to respond to you. They are going to tell you what you need to do, how you need to go about it, what documents you need to have. And yeah, just do that, and this is going to help you a lot, and it's going to make the process very easy for you. Yeah, so guys, this is all that I wanted to address in this video. So I'm assuring you in this video that study gap is not a limitation to study in Romania. This information is not an official information. It's not officially announced in of the Ministry of Education or universities that I know of have not officially announced it on their website or anywhere saying that 5 to 7 years gap is a limitation to study in Romania. If someone got if someone if some people got rejected because of their study gap, maybe they were not eligible enough, maybe they did not explain their safe well, or maybe they did not provide the right documents, or maybe their grade were not the best, not because they have study gap. So this should be very clear. This you should know, and this shouldn't prevent you from sending your application, or shouldn't prevent you from dreaming to come and study in Romania. So guys, I've come to the end of this video. I hope that you found this video useful. If you haven't subscribed on the channel yet, please do well to subscribe. Click on that notification button so each time I post a video, you get notified. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you have any comment, or if you have any doubt, or if you have anything that I did not touch on why I'm making this video, please leave your comment down in the comments below, and I'm going to explain, and I'm going to say it further. I also have an audio for when I went to the international office to ask this information. I recorded everything. I'm going to find a way in which I'll make a video and add that record. The reason why I did not add the record in this particular video is because I wanted to talk about it. I wanted this video to come out first, and now I'm going to make a second part of this video where I'm playing the record with the conversation that I had with the international officer based on this particular information that has been going around. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and see you in another one. Bye.